Hello and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. If you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell all my handmade treasures like progress keepers, hand-dyed yarn, my own digital patterns. You can find me on Instagram as Crafting Kraken Made, and you can also find me and my patterns on Lovecrafts and Payhip. And thank you so much for clicking the video. It's kind of hard to gain anything on YouTube right now, so if you are new and you enjoy the podcast, do subscribe and click the like button and possibly share the podcast, because it's a hard world to gain following on the little world of YouTube. So, yeah, we're in a new space, semi-new. I've been here before and filmed a couple podcasts in this area, just a new couch. This is my little, collections wall. I have this thing. I'm kind of like a raven or a magpie. I collect the most random things, but they make me happy, so basically, I collect happiness. And up here, I've got all the things from all the years. These are like tap shoes that I had when I was a kid. I've got my rock collection, some spoons that I've collected over the years, brickheads. You can kind of see it, but this is me and my husband in Lego brickhead form. We had that as our wedding cake topper, so that's fun. Yeah, but yeah, I've shifted all the furniture around down here because it's time for a spring cleaning. Like, you get caught up in living life and you don't realize how messy your home can get until it starts encroaching on you. And it was starting to reach that point, so we're just doing a spring cleaning and de-junking and moving stuff around. So that's why I'm here now. But same couch, just different wall. I have my semi-warm coffee with me. It's kind of on the cold side, but it's okay. Yeah, I have plenty of knitting to show you. Oh, this is just my mom texting. Where is it? Yeah, I have plenty of knitting to show you today. A little crocheting, and I have 3 finished objects. Yes. I'm very excited to make up for last week being kind of finished objects, but I definitely have finished objects for this week. And yeah, I will just, before hopping into that, I'll talk about what I'm wearing. Starting off with the sweater. This is my winter Bluff sweater by Ashley Lillis. I knit this out of Barocco Vintage in the holly color. I don't know what number that is, but online it just says holly. It is so cozy. It's a worsted weight sweater, just a simple raglan. There's no short row shaping, but it doesn't sit right up to my neck at all. It's awesome. So it's nice and cozy, and I love it. Oh, and my hat. I knit this quite a long time ago. This is a Bristolcone by the Knitty Pine. I knit this out of Tofino Knit Co. Gingerbread House in her worsted tweed, and it is wonderful. And wearing this, I want to knit another one. I have some worsted weight yarn sitting in my stash that just says I want to be a Bristolcone. So maybe that'll be a new cast on. That you'll see next episode, probably. I'm finally getting into that zone where I want to cast on all the things, and I'm finally finding things that I want to cast on. I was kind of in a slump a couple weeks ago that I was finishing the projects that I had on going, and that felt really good, but I couldn't find anything that really just made me I want to cast that on. I want to knit that. Nothing was really enticing me, but slowly I can feel it coming back, and I've got a list of things I want to cast on. but I'm gonna stick with what I have so far and not like jump on everything so that I'm down to single-digit projects. And I hope to keep it that way for a little while. But anyway, you came for the yarn, not for me to babble on about me. So let's get into some finished objects, shall we? Let's get cracking. So, first off, I finished my husband's DK vanilla socks out of DK Opal yarn. He's been wearing these, so they're a little crumpled. He's been wearing them already, which is awesome. Yeah, I finished both and they both fit, so that is great. I knit this out of, again, DK Opal yarn that I carry in the shop. There is some in there. I think there's one skein of this left in the shop. This is called Clinking Fountains. And it is awesome. It is a 75/25 virgin wool and polyamide. And it is just a fantastic yarn and a great quick knit. I use the guidelines from the Crazy Sock Lady DK weight socks, but I knit them toe up and do a short row heel. It's a very easy thing to do. Yeah, so there they are. Finally finished. He really likes them. They're super cozy, and that's my first finished object. It's pretty quick. Yeah. I knit these socks on 3.25 millimeter needles. I do that for all my DK weight socks. And on the term of DK weight socks, my other finished object is I finished the DK I Do socks that I was knitting this out of ginger snap yarn, hunter's green, and silver lining in their DK tweed. I knit this on size 3.25 millimeter needles again. And this is a new pattern design that is in the shop now. It released last week. Yeah, I think so. Last week. And oh, it's such a wonderful pattern. It knits up really quickly in the DK and it's very enjoyable. This is a cuff down pattern. And I knit these for my mom as a Mother's Day gift because the colors reminded me of the Slytherin house from Harry Potter, and she is a Slytherin, but she is the greatest Slytherin ever. So kind and smart and lovely. So if you are thinking, oh, Slytherin, don't. There are some good Slytherins out there. My mom is one of them. But anyway, yeah, so I knit this for her and I finished both. Yeah, you can find this pattern in the shop. You can find it on Love Crafts. I think I've forgotten to put it on Payhip now that I think about it. But by this time the pattern goes up, it will be on Payhip. So if you want to knit one of these great socks, super quick, make great gifts, the DK I Do socks is available on my website. There'll be links down below. Yeah. If you don't know what the I Do socks pattern is, this is a design I did last year for me and my husband to wear on our wedding day. And that was the fingering weight version. And I really wanted to have a DK weight version because DK weight socks are so amazing and make really quick knits. The possibilities are endless with these. Yeah, that is my other finished object. I feel like I'm moving very quickly. So, if I'm talking too fast, you can just slow me down. And I think the settings is on there. Anyway, that's my other finished object. I'm just a chatty Cathy this morning. last finished object, where'd he go? Oh dear. He's disappeared on me. I know he's around here somewhere. Get the blanket out of the way. Oh, there you are. He slipped away from me. It's a turtle. So this is a new design I'm working on. This is out of Bramble Ridge in her fingering weight base, and this is the Kraken made colorway. And she gave me this quite a while ago to do a design with, and I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to do with it. Like, I couldn't think of any design ideas that said, yes, I want to do that with that yarn. It was so special, and I wanted to do it right. And so I finally thought of something, and this turtle is full of beans because he is what we call in my house a boo-boo buddy. So if you get a bruise, burn, or you just got like a headache, you have these guys in the freezer and you have them on hand for just like putting on the spot. I've already used this guy a couple times since I finished him. I grabbed a hot ladle the other day and I just held him in my hand and it felt great. Yeah, so this is a fingering weight creature. I use a size 3mm hook. The pattern will be out in June, I believe. That's what I'm aiming for. I want to crochet a few more and really get the pattern down pat before I release it. And why I use fingering weight for this project is because when he's in the freezer, you pull him out, the fabric is thin enough that you get a good amount of that chill. He's still cold right now. After, I think it's been like half hour since I pulled him out of the freezer to show you guys. But he's so cute. He's very simple. There's no buttons or anything. I'm sure you could add on extras if you wanted to, but he's super simple and so sweet. You can easily do this with fingering scraps. Yeah, so this is a new design that's coming pretty soon. You're probably going to see quite a few of these come up in the next few podcasts because they are so much fun to make. Really simple creatures. So cute. I love turtles. They're awesome. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this project, but he's so nice. So nice. And that's my last finished object. So I'm very excited to have some solid finished objects for this episode. Okay, so let's get into works in progress. I'm going to start off with the newest and simplest whip I have going on right now. I'm not quite sure about this pattern yet, but this is a new sock design that I'm working on. I just cast this on yesterday, actually, now that I think about it. So this is just going to be an interesting little sock that I'm going to try and fold over to the purl side and create a cuff with like the pearls coming out. I'm still like working out the bumps as I go through, but I'm doing this on 2.25mm needles. I'm doing the magic loop and I'm doing it in Storyweaver yarn, and this is the Hufflepuff colorway, which is what house I am in. I'm a Hufflepuff. I get it from my dad, who's also a Hufflepuff. But I love this yarn, and I've really been attracted to yellows lately. Like I want that happy sunshine yellow in my life. We had quite a bit of sunshine the past few days this week, but it's overcast now and it's back to rainy days, and I want all the happy sunshine. So working with a really pretty yellow, I love it, and the mix of grays just make it awesome. It's not really like happy sunshine, but the yellow and the grays just like perfect. So I'm really happy with that project as it goes. and you'll probably see more of a sock next podcast. Okay, so that was the easiest one. Next, I have two sweaters. I don't know which to talk about first. Let's talk about this one that's in front of me. I started the Halibut Sweater by Caitlin Hunter. Here it is. This is an awesome sweater. I bought this as soon as it came out, and I've been so excited to knit it. I've gone halibut fishing with my dad before, and it's so much fun. And I love to eat halibut. It's so good. Because I live on the west coast of Canada, so halibut is bountiful here and a very popular fish. And I started it, and I've got the collar done, and I've just begun the color work. Like, I just did the first row. You can see it kind of in there. I am knitting this out of Tofino Knit Co. In the colors, My Soul Does Magnify the Lord, and this is all in her Lighthouse DK Tweed, 85% Superwash Merino, 15% Donna Cole Nep. And then the contrast color, I don't think I have the ball band for this guy, but this is Joseph Dreaming. And both of these colors are from her Nativity Advent calendar that she did for last Christmas in 2021. I helped her make progress keepers for the Advent calendars, and in exchange she dyed me up some yarn to do this sweater with. And I love these colors. It's just such a cool contrast. This is probably the best shade of pink. It's just so pretty. It's a perfect rose gold with a navy blue. So I'm really enjoying this. I don't know what came in. I just want to knit all the sweaters. Like, I just got on this sweater kick. And so I started this while I was on the sweater kick, knowing that I was gonna really love this sweater. So yeah. This is a DK weight sweater. I should just continue on with my thoughts. I'm knitting this with the called for needles. This is a paid for pattern, so I'm just gonna skip over what size that is. And I've got a little beginning of round marker from Knitbug Val. Valerie yep. She makes little stitch markers. I will link her down below. And I've got just some simple metal hoops for between the color work so that I don't get lost. And this is just living in my Cozy Up bag. Plug for another podcast, Cozy Up Sisters. I love them. I love this bag. It's great. And it's a perfect sweater size. So I just zip that up. And yeah, that is the halibut sweater that I just started it earlier this week, so I haven't gotten very far. But I'm really excited to get into that color work. I really like color work. It's fun. But I know I'm not going to have quite enough yarn. I miscalculated, and so I'm probably going to have to mix in a third color into the sweater, which is completely fine. I don't mind that at all. It's going to look really cool. I have some leftover of this yarn, the silver lining, from knitting these socks. And I think that would look really cool with that sweater, just to add that little bit of extra yardage so that I'm sure the sweater will fit. But I don't think I'm going to be cutting it very close. We shall see as it goes on. There's a lot of mysterious we shall sees when it comes to my knitting. Okay, now we'll move on to my last work in progress. I'm just flying through this podcast episode. That I have done quite a bit of work on my DRK sweater. Where's the front? Here's the front. I finished one sleeve. and I've put quite a bit of work into the body. That's the end of the first ball there. I'm gonna tie in the next ball once I'm done the second sleeve. I'm just kind of like spacing out. I'm working on sleeves and body so that it's relatively done all at the same time, so that I can enjoy this sweater all the way through. So, oh my goodness, it's so cool. I love this sweater. So my gauge, I think I talked about this last time. The only thing with this sweater is my gauge is quite small compared to what is called for, which is okay. It's still going to fit me just fine, and the contents of the yarn is definitely going to relax and stretch a little bit, so I'm not worried about that. But the changes I made to the sweater is that I didn't do any decreases on the sleeve. I made it a slight puff sleeve, but I don't think it's going to be too puffy. And yeah, so no decreases, but I did a dramatic decrease at the cuff to what the cuff stitch count was supposed to be by the end of the sleeve. And yeah, so I'm going to do that. That's really the only major change I've done with this sweater. I knit the collar a lot shorter because I don't like to be strangled by my sweater collars. I don't like stuff up close to my neck. This one is okay. Like that I will allow just over the collarbone. I don't like stuff actually on my neck. I don't like turtlenecks at all. I feel like I'm being strangled. So I make sure that I make my collars quite small. I am knitting this with the needles called for. And where's the yarn? Oh, there's the tag. Joseph Dreamy, DK Tweed. That's the navy blue in my Halibut Sweater. It was in a different bag. So I'm holding fingering double for the sweater. This is a DK weight sweater. And I'm holding Ilmani Sabri, which is an 85% cotton. My goodness. I can feel like I'm slightly stuffy today, so I am so sorry if I sound funny. Take a minute, take a breath. Okay, this is 85% cotton and 15% baby alpaca, so it's warm and it's breathable. The ideal combo in a yarn. I think this is like the yarn I will want to use in everything forever. It's probably my favorite yarn I've ever used. So that is the light contrast, and then I'm holding it with Kate Celine. This is the Little Mermaid on a fingering base. Why is my ring light just doing that? Oh dear. But it is so pretty. She is just like the queen of speckles, and it's so even and beautiful. Yes, so holding that double to create this, like, it's not a marl, it looks like that is just the yarn itself. It's just a really pretty birthday cake kind of colorway. So it makes me so happy. I love the sweater. I love the feel of the sweater. I think it's going to be so wonderful for the chillier days during the summer. I do find that quite funny that my sweater kick comes as warm weather approaches, but I'm just a cold person in general, so you will catch me wearing a sweater 99% of the time. It's either a hoodie, it's a sweater, a giant cardigan. I'm just a cold person, so I'm sure that they will still get use. And that is my last work in progress. I've done very little work on my Advent blanket from last year, but it's not enough to show any progress because it's just going to look the same. Yeah, I think this is my last work in progress. Oh, I almost forgot about this guy. So for little turtle. I don't know what to call this guy. Please drop some name ideas down in the comments below because I don't know what to call this guy. Mr. Bean is already taken. So this is the yarn in the little cake. It's a little messed up, but that is Kraken made. So cute. And I want to crochet another one of these out of this. In here, I started another turtle with some of the leftovers I have of, this is Watercolor Promises. This is my own hand-dyed yarn. I think I have one left in the shop of this. It's a sock set. So this is the leftovers, and this is the start of another turtle. It's so pretty. So you can use any fingering weight scrap for this. And yeah, I'm using a size 3mm. I made this hook myself with my new clay tool. A cool spiral. So I've been using that. It's so much fun. I don't know if I'll make these to sell, but I'm considering it. Be fun. And yeah, so this is kind of just my crochet bag right now for all the little projects. This is my Espresso Patronum bag by So Crazy Crafter. In here I've got the leftovers from my husband's DRK Socks. This is Clinking Fountains. Big old hair on there. And I think I'm going to try and crochet a little animal out of this. I don't know if there's enough, but I'm going to try and see what happens. So that is living in there, turtle. This will be my turtle bag, my crocheted turtles and whatever other animal I decide to make. Whoops. So that is definitely my last work in progress. I totally forgot about this because I'm probably going to have to rip that turtle that I have in progress out and restart. Doing origami patterns, I think it takes a little bit extra brain work because you want everything to fit and to create the right shape. So that's why this pattern isn't out like right now. It would be so easy to do. I really want this pattern to be well written and easy to follow. So I just gotta keep trying. Yeah. So that is all that I'm working on. I feel like I didn't breathe all that time. Yeah. Life stuff I kind of talked about in the beginning. It's just been cleaning going on here. Life has been full of yarn, tidying up, and a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of rain. That's life on the West Coast. So, yeah. Oh, I want to talk about these before I go. This will be a pretty quick thing. The shop update that is coming up tomorrow for me, it'll be up already for you. I've finally done stitch marker sets. I know people have been waiting a very long time for me to get into it. I don't know why it took me so long. I was just looking for the right hoop size because I've tried buying hoops for stitch marker sets before and they always seem to either be too big or too small. Finally, I think I've done it right. So here we have the first one. This one's got a pretty glass pearl in it with some brown contrasting beads. And these all have 8 hoops total, so it's perfect for raglan sweaters. Got a piece of chocolate cake in here, some orange bead contrast. And then we have this one, which is really cool. This is just a little hoggle that I had off of an earring. It's pretty white bead contrast. If you want to have a closer look at these, I will leave a link to them down below in the shop since they will be up. This one is probably my favorite. It's a cherry one. How cute is that? And also my camera is just terrible at getting close-ups of stuff, so. Last, certainly not missing one. Where'd he go? Oh, found him. Just dropping stuff today. This isn't the last one. Got a brown one with some yellow beads. This is a resin bead that I made. It's full of little stars. And then last but certainly not least, I've got this blue one that is also resin that I made with blue bead contrast. So that is the last thing I wanted to talk about. Those will be in the shop Friday at 8 a.m. But this podcast goes up on Saturday, so they'll be in the shop by now. And yeah, so that is what's going on for the shop life. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever time it is there that is full of yarny goodness. And I guess that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like the podcast, please subscribe, click the like, maybe share the episode if you're feeling crazy, because I could use some help gaining a little bit of a following here on the podcast. It's slow, it's steady. I appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.